All righty, guys. Welcome. Let's make sure we're doing something here. I think we're doing something. I don't know if it's good, but yay! All right, we're back. We're back. Whew, let's talk about the week that was and all the good stuff. So as most of you know, if you've been on the channel, you know we were at Origins 2023. Where is my? There it is. I even have my brand new Origins 2023 dice to go on with all my other Origins dice. Origins 2023. Let's see if it rolls good. Oh, it rolls the Origin. Which is a weird. That dice is weird. All right, E4 Airman, what's going on? So yeah, it was really good. It was a good time. It was a good time. It was a good time to get away. It was a good time just to hang out, see my buddies up there. I got to meet Herman Loopman again and hook up with him and Mark Walker for a little while. We even had Herman come over and run a game for me and my crew. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to play, but that's okay. It was very hard to have me and my crew hook up with Herman and his crew because everyone wanted to do their own thing at their own time. But we got to cross over a little bit and hang out and talk and do all that stuff, which is great. Great to see Herman again. Great to meet Mark again. I actually met Mark maybe about 12 years ago at Origins. I talked to him for a while. He didn't remember me, but at that time, nobody. But it was good to see him again and meet up with him. We didn't get a chance to do any game or anything. Unfortunately, with Herman and his crew, other than that one game. But it was fun. It was good. I got to meet up with Art Wolf and his crew and talk with those guys and see. I've got plenty of pictures to show you guys come Saturday at the War Room to show you guys what we did there and to show you some of the pictures of everything that happened. We got back yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was yesterday. We actually got back before the con even was over. We left at like 6. Our plane left Columbus at 6:30 in the morning. Whew. So we were up at like 3:45 and hustling and bustling to get over to the airport. But we got home by like 10:30, which is great. We got home by like 10:30. Anyways, it was a huge. I saw a picture with Art Wolf. Cool. He must have. I know when I was there, he had given his camera to have someone take some pictures. So I don't know if he shared it on his live stream tonight. So that's cool. So I'll have to check out that video and check out. But it was a good con. There was a lot. It was huge. I cannot believe how many people were there, how many events were going on. I cannot believe. When I was there, it's the first time I've been there in 8 years. So we've been down here 8 years now, and I don't think I went the year before that. So it's probably been 8 or 9 years. Man, there was like 19 different rows for the vendor. There's a lot more vendors there, but there was a lot more people there, and it's weird because the Herd Ticket to Ride went well. That's good. It's there was Ticket to Ride tournaments going on. There was tournaments for everything, miniatures, stuff I don't even know, puzzles, just everything. So it was good. It was good. It was good to see my friends again, hang out with those guys. It was good to it was good, but it was different. It was really good, but it was different because I used to live there. So I'd drive down there, spend the day, come home, sleep, get up and do back and forth every day, which is great. But then whenever you bought something, you just brought it home with you. I couldn't do that because I had to fly home. So I only had one suitcase. So I couldn't really just buy a whole bunch of stuff. I only bought one. Technically, I bought two things, but it's only one game and then the expansion. So I only bought one thing when I was there because of space, because I didn't have a lot of space. So I came across something I really was excited about when the guy was talking about it. I didn't hear about it, but it's a game called For Glory, a game of gladiatorial combat and deck building. That's right. Some of my favorite words all in one sentence. Gladiatorial combat, deck building. So I picked up For Glory, as you can see it's still in the shrink. And then I picked up the expansion for it called Champions Expansion, which adds a solo mode and champions, and the guy was the owner of the company Spielcraft Games is there. So he gave me my metal coins for free, as you can see. He threw these in for free because I was buying the whole kit and caboodle. So there's the metal coins for Glory. So yeah, so that's the only thing I picked up at the con. But we left for convention Friday, the week beforehand, because we're going up to visit my daughter in Chicago the weekend before the convention, then drive back down to Columbus. I got this chance to drive through after we spent a couple days in Columbus, or after we spent a couple days in Chicago, then we drove down to Columbus. And on the way down there, we stopped at Toledo to meet Tony and his wonderful wife and his wonderful daughter. So we got to meet up with them and go out to dinner and hang out with them for a while, which was super cool. So I got to meet Tony face to face and talk with him and see his house and see his wife, and it was a good time to do that. And then of course went to Columbus, went to the convention. It's been a busy time. Didn't do much at Tony's place other than visit and just hang out and talk and get to meet up with him and his wife and Natalie, and I had a good time talking with them. It's just it was already at like dinner time when we got there, and then we spent like an hour or two with them, and then we had to go to get to Columbus. So it was a short meeting. We would like to schedule more of a official time, or have Tony come over down to Columbus and go to Origins maybe, or something, or maybe Buckeye Game Fest or whatever. So that would be cool. But it was a good time to see Tony and his wife and Natalie, and one of his kids was there, but he was upstairs in his room. He didn't come down to meet me, but that's okay. He was a young kid, so he didn't want a bunch of weird people he never knew coming around his house anyways. So what else did we do? So we picked up For Glory. We met with Art Wolf. We met with Herman. We met Mark Walker. We again, I met him a long time ago when I remember he was running a booth there. I don't know if it was for Lock and Load or if it's for Flying Pig. I'm not sure which game he was there with, but I met him and talked to him back then. But he doesn't remember me from them. Tim, what's going on, buddy? How you doing? So, that's what I was saying. So we left to go to Chicago the weekend before of the convention. So I've been gone 10, 11 days or whatever it was. And I actually had 2 boxes. One box came in Thursday night before we left, so I didn't have a chance because I was busy packing and doing everything. And then I had another box arrive today, actually. They're huge boxes. As you can see, one's there. Where'd the other one go? If you've been around the channel, you know what should be in these boxes because I had a little glitch with GMT with my credit card expiring and I wasn't notified, so I had to contact them, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, I've been delayed getting these games and they finally shipped them out. Sea of Thunder, Global Naval Warfare 1939-1945 by Jeff Hoger. Really? Huh. Jeff. Look at Jeff go. Holy cow. 7 scenarios covering either the early or late war period, plus a campaign which covers the entire war. 2 players, 2 to 12 hours. 4 complexity out of 10. Solitaire suitability, 6 out of 10. 14 and up. Only thing about this game is it's like massive amounts of counter sheets. I think someone said there was like 5 counter sheets, more than 1,400 playing pieces, and markers. So, anyways, Sea of Thunder. And then, of course, The British Way. I actually saw one, I think I seen one person had this set up to play. I don't remember if they were playing it at the time. This is part of the coin series. This is 2 players, 1 to 2 hours, complexity 4 out of 10, solitaire suitability 7 out of 10, 14 and up. You can play the Palestine, Malaya, Kenya, and Cyprus. 2 double-sided game boards, 4 game event decks, and 1 campaign event. 54 wooden pieces, 8 pawns, 1 counter sheet, 11 player 8 cards, 4 rule background booklets, 1 campaign background booklet, and 2 6-sided dice. So that is that. That is just, oh, I did get this at Origins, the free dice they give away to go along with all my other Origin dice. Which, you know, I have a few dice, but I think I got a bunch of them in here from all kinds of different years of Origins. I need to keep these dice and put them in a little a shelf or something. Yeah, clip, he says. Wow. Ooh, great camera. Great camera work. How low? How low? Let's see if we can switch. That's going to be dumb. Is that what it's doing? Come on. Come on. There you go. No one wants to do it. So at Origins, I actually saw Mr. President in a box, had it in my hand, had someone take a picture of me with the box, Mr. President, like a week ahead of time before I actually had it. And all the other ones that I had pre-ordered. The Varix Emperor card game set during the time of crisis. 1 to 4 players, 1 to 2 hours, complexity 3 out of 10, solitaire suitability 10 out of 10, age 14 and up. The Barracks Empire is a strategy card game set against the backdrop of the Roman crisis of the 3rd century, during which at least 45 different men made a claim to the throne of Roman Empire. In this game, 1 to 4 players represent political factions attempting to gain control over the men who would be the Emperor of Rome. Players deploy the influence available to them, represented by the cards in their hands, to claim imperial regions, but they must be very careful for politics is a complex game, and sometimes attempt to exert your influence necessitates aiding someone else in their own plots. Player cards cleverly to capture emperors and score the most points to win. So, looking at the Barracks Emperor, Border Reveres, 1 to 6 players, 2 to 4 hours, 3 complexity, 9 solitaire suitability. By the time of Henry VIII ascended to the throne of England in 1509, a 50-mile wide stretch of rolling hills and stunning vistas had straddled the border between England and Scotland. Has seen decades of hardship and atrocities. The inhabitants attempted to subsist by raising livestock, but when supplies ran low, raiding to steal cattle and sheep from their neighbors, whence their answer. To combat the constant hostilities, England and Scotland each divided their border lands into East, Middle, and West. March on these territories administered by the warden responsible for keeping the peace. In Border Reveres, each player rules over each of the marchers as leaders of one of the 6 major tiding families in the border. The goal is to end the century of the most famous Border Revere of all time. Players gain victory points for amassing large herds of livestock, capturing enemy raiders while acting as warden, and by elevating their notoriety above the other players across the map. So that is Border Reveres. We got a lot of stuff. Edwards, what's going on? Yeah. You got For Glory. Yes, I did. For Glory was the only thing I picked up. The only thing I actually got at Origins For Glory with the expansion pack. So excited about bringing that to you guys here. And let's see what else we got. It's all about the people power. Insurgency in the Philippines, 1981 to 1986. This is Coin Series Volume 11. 1 to 3 players, 2 to 3 hours, 5 complexity, 9 solitaire suitability. And it is number 11 in the highly praised and popular Coin Series designed by Volko Renke. People Power features 3 historical factions: the government of Ferdinand, the Imelda Marcos, backed by the military and his political cronies, the Marxist-Leninist Maoist insurgency of the People's Army, or New People's Army, and the political reforms led by the widowed Corazon Aquino. Holy cow. Hello from Kitchener, Ontario. What is going on, William? Good to see you. So People Power serves as the perfect entry point for the Coin Series due to its short playtime and moderate complexity. As with other Coin Series games, each faction in People Power is a different set of actions that players must use to achieve the faction's goals and claim victory. Returning players will find new twists in the famous coin formula, with modular rules incorporating the personalities and strategies for each faction. So that is People Power. All right. Put this, I don't know where we're gonna stack this. Running out of room, my friends. Running out of room. out of the room. I don't think we have too many more, though. Oh, we don't. We only have one more. But it's a biggie, of course. Mr. President, the American presidency 2001 to 2020 by Gene Billingsley. Blammo. Blammo. Ooh. Ugh. What is going on, Art Wolf Lair? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to hang out with you guys this last week and say hi and meet up with everyone. Sorry I didn't get much of a chance to cross over between what you were doing, when I was doing, and everything, but it was good to meet up with you. And I'm just unpacking my 2 boxes from GMT that I got this last week. Mr. President, woohoo, the big boy. The Barracks Emperors, Border Reveres, The British Way, People Power. It's like, and the Sea of Thunder. It's funny because, like I said, I flew to the convention this year, unlike when I lived there. When I lived there, I would just buy a bunch of stuff, bring it home every night, stack it up, and then go to the convention, buy a bunch of stuff, bring it home, stack it up. And this year I thought, I'm not going to be able to do that because, I got one little suitcase. I got to fit everything in my suitcase. So I only bought one thing, but I still got a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, there's one of my players right there, Platypus. Hanging out with me. He's painting his Stalingrad Z minis. Nice. Next year. Yeah, for sure. Next year, if I knew and I plan ahead of time and I get schedule things a little better. Like I talked about, me and Herman hooked up for a little while, but again, he had his things going on. We had our things going on, so we didn't really cross over the streams very well. It's always hard to do that. You're doing your thing with your people and trying to get everyone to sync up dinner, what time you're going to be available, what time you're not going to be available. It's such a, it's just so hard to do. It's just hard to get 4 people to sit down and play a game. And the Filipina widow for the activist name should be pronounced Corazona Aquino. Okay. Well, there you go. Professional. We're going to do it the professional way here. So, yeah, it's just hard to get everyone to play and figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, what time you're going to do it, how much time you're going to have, this, that, and the other thing. And so I'm looking forward to doing it again. It was a good time. It was a great time hanging out, seeing my buddies, and just meeting everyone that I haven't seen in a long time, and just sitting down and gaming and doing a lot of gaming from morning to night. We get down there about 9:30 in the morning. We leave around 10:30 at night every night. So after about 4 days, we were really beat. But then at our flight home, we had to be at the airport by 5 a.m. because our plane was leaving at 6. So I think our plane left at 6:15 in the morning. We started boarding at 5. Was it 5:45? And of course, knucklehead, right? We get out of the rental car, we take it back. There's a huge sign there. There's a guy that pulls in right next to us, and he says to us, because we don't see anybody. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. There's nobody around. And the guy says, "What do we do with our keys?" And I say, "You leave them in the car. You leave the keys in the car. They'll grab them when they pull up the car." And I knew that. And I sent it to the guy and everything. And we still got in the airport. I'm going through security and I'm pulling shit out of my pockets so I can go through the thing. And what do I pull out? The keys to the car. And I'm like, oh my God. And the wife had already gone through security. So then I finished going through security. And then I have to come back through security and say, I just came through security and I have the rental car keys. And I need to take them back. What do I do? Can I just give them to you guys? What? He's like, no. What you can do is run back down out the front where the shuttle bus is and see if you can talk to the shuttle bus driver and see if they'll take them back for you. Otherwise, it's like a $400 or $500 fine. So I did that. I ran all the way down, and of course, it's 5:30 in the morning, and our plane's getting ready to board, and the wife's all freaked out. I can't believe you did that. But I took them down. The shuttle bus driver was there. They were just sitting there twiddling their thumbs because nobody was there. And I walked in and I said, hey, I got my car keys. She said, oh, no problem. We'll take them and drop them off at the front desk. And I was like, oh, and then of course back through. And the funny thing is, I even said to myself when I pulled in, I said, just leave the keys in the car. I was thinking that I'll just leave the keys in the car. And then when that guy, pulled in behind us and there wasn't anybody there. Normally, there's workers there. He's like, what do we do? We said, well, we'll just leave the keys. I told the guy, leave the keys in the car. So then I had to go back through security again. And of course, the second time through, you show them your little ID and pass, you get beeped every time because it's like, wait a minute, this guy just came through. Why is he coming through again? So I had to explain to him. Came through just like 10 minutes ago. And I had my rental car keys with me, so I had to take them back out. That's why I don't have any luggage. I didn't have my anything. So they all gave me the dirty look. The dog comes over and sniffs me to make sure I'm on the up and up. Yeah. Yeah, I told the guy, you leave the keys in the car. Just leave them in the car. And I even said to my brain, you leave the keys in the car. But it was fine. I even made it back and we got like I said, it was 5:30 in the morning and there was like hardly anybody in the airport. So I was back through security before you know it. So it would have been a longer line or something, or we were that's why you always leave 2 hours ahead of time. Brother, that was but that was like 4 days of no sleep. So I was like beat. And then 3:00 in the morning, 3:45, the wife alarm went off at 3:45. And then of course I tried to go back to sleep until 4. When she was done in the shower in the bathroom, I'm like, you might as well just get up at that point. You're not going to get back to sleep for 15 minutes. It's early in the morning. But the cool thing was we were actually flew in and landed in Tampa at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And we were home with Arby's because we stopped for lunch. And we were home by like 11 o'clock in the morning. And it's so weird. Like, you wake up in Columbus, Ohio, and then by like lunchtime, you're home eating Arby's, and it's just. And then I was gonna live broadcast, and I was started up a live stream, and I sat down. I was thinking about what I was gonna say, and I said, you know what? I'm a little tired. Maybe I'll just take like a 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute nap. I'll just take like a 30-minute nap. And so I laid down right there on the couch, and I think I was out for like 3 hours. I woke up at like 4:30. It was about 12:30, 1 o'clock when I went to bed. I woke up at 4:30. So it was about 3 hours. And then when I woke up, I was in no mood. I had no energy. I was just so then I didn't go live or anything. Yep, it was just the whole week caught up. But it was a great week. And then like I said, a whole bunch of new stuff came in from GMT. I wasn't expecting the second order, but I got an email yesterday that said my order was coming today, and I was like, damn, I don't normally get that so quick. So we got a whole bunch of new stuff to look at. People Power, the Barracks Emperor. Let's see what else we got. The British Way, Border Reveres, Sea of Thunder, Mr. President. Oh my gosh. And For Glory with the Champions expansion. Woohoo! Yeah, looking forward to checking that out. Plus, of course, all the stuff we've been meaning to get to for the last couple weeks and last couple months actually, and never got around to. Yeah, I need to rest. That's why I took today off of work, because when I scheduled it, we were coming back on Sunday. And the wife's like, "Oh, you can go back to work on Monday." I'm like, "Hell's no. Hell no. I need a day to unwind and process." You have to go to the grocery store, and you got to go to the dry cleaners. You got to go into the pool store. You got to do all these errands that you haven't been able to do for 2 weeks. So we were out most of the day doing all that crap. So it was good. It was good time. It was a good time. It's good to see everyone again. There was a lot of cabbies there. A lot of cabbies. Columbus Area Board Game Society, CABS. Used to be a member up until I moved down here. 13 years I was a member. And man, those people don't remember me at all. I remember them. I remember the faces. I remember there's a few. I shouldn't say nobody. There's a few of them that remember me. And they came up and talked to me and this, that, and the other thing. But there are so many new people I've never even seen or met or anything. 8 years is a long, long time. It's a long time. I mean, just think at your work, how many people you lose in 8 years, right? How many new people come in and out. I've been at my new job about 6.5 years, and I think more than half the office is new since I've been there. So yeah, same thing goes with like a club or an organization or anything. It's like so many new people. There are, of course, a few of the old faces, Mike Stanley, the ASL guy, John, what's John's last name again? Can't remember his last name. Good ASL friend. We used to play and hook up every once in a while at cabs. And I know his name and I just can't think of it. But Mike Stanley was there. Who else? Some of the people I was hoping to see worked there. Tony from Cabs. Bud from Cabs wasn't there. I didn't see him anyways. And then the guy that I sold all my games to was there, and he was talking to me, and there was a box that I gave him with all my other stuff he wasn't supposed to take it, but he took it. It had all my personal created files and everything. So he's going to be shipping that to me, hopefully. John Haas, right. There you go. John Haas. Thank you, Ardwolf. Yeah, I knew somebody would remember. So he's going to be shipping me my box of stuff that I created with all my ASL stuff, all of my war game stuff that I was using my little cubes with. I think he's got a couple boxes, he said, of stuff that I had personally created, and he, doesn't go to like a game or anything like that. So he was going to ship that to me. So that was cool. And if he does, that'll be awesome to get that stuff back. He wasn't supposed to take it. It wasn't part of the. I was going to bring that down with me because I'm like, nobody's going to want my crappy crap. And I went around several times taking photos of a lot of games and the games being played and who is playing them and who is hanging out over at Art Wolf's area. There was actually, I was, I guess, pleasantly surprised. Still a lot of Euro games, but there was still a lot of people that had some coin games out. There was some. I saw somebody playing Memoir a couple of times. I saw Memoir 44 being played. Of course, Art Wolf and their crew had the big war game going on. I saw several different iterations of different hex encounter type games. Trying to think of. There was no chandeliers. This is just a big old room of nothing. It's just, but we didn't get chandeliers. What we got was 18,000 people. I think they jammed in about 15 to 18,000 people into this place. Man, it was packed. Yes, it was. Yeah. Art Wolf, he said it exactly. It was packed. I mean, Wednesday at 8:00 at night, you couldn't freaking find a table to sit down and play something. It was packed. And there are probably 1,000 tables with 8 chairs there. Just wait until you see. I should go get my camera and plug it in and get the pictures, but I'm not going to do that because it would take me hours to go through it. The amount of people that were there, just all kinds of miniatures, miniature events, spaceship combat with little minis, ship combat with little minis, outer space combat with minis, different artwork things that were going on with little buildings and this, that, and the other thing. I must have saw 40 30 to 40 at least minimum of those little like town scenes with buildings. I did see a huge setup for, what was it? Panzer Blitz, which somebody made in a huge 3D model and had hills and they had the streams. It was super cool. I took some pictures of that. I'll for sure show you that. But it was packed, which is good. It wasn't just board games. No matter what you're interested in, there was things to do. There was actually part of on the way over on the one side, down the hallway, there's the big vendor hall. You keep going past that. Then they had like a digital board game section. They had 3mm tanks on the counters. That's right. They had for the Panzer Blitz. They had a nice counter, 3D counter with little mini tanks on it. It was super cool and super impressive to look at. Like I said, once you see the pictures, you'll see how awesome it was. It was really cool. It was. It took up a huge table, probably an 8x10 table. And they had it all laid out like the regular map, and it was so cool. And all the hexes and 3D. 3D Panzer Blitz. So that was kind of cool. But like I said, they had board games, they had miniatures, they had these. I saw a whole bunch. They had a sign that was probably 3 feet by 3 feet tall by 4 feet wide. Was, I think, 4 different rows of like 25 things that you could sign up for, purchase tickets for. And so there was miniatures. They had Ticket to Ride. They had all kinds of different board game competitions going on. They had puzzle competitions going on. They had miniature competitions going on. I mean, no matter what you're interested in, I mean, that's the good thing about the con is there's plenty of space, there's plenty of time, and there's plenty of people that want to do whatever you want to do as well. There was like Werewolf. You ever know the Werewolf game? There was people playing that when we were leaving at like 10 o'clock out in the lobby, and there was like 20 of them in a circle, and they were doing, I think it was Werewolf. I don't, we didn't stop and talk to them or whatever, but they might have been playing something else. But they were all in a circle with chairs, talking and conversing, and somebody was giving directions or whatever. I think they were playing like Werewolf or something like that. So I mean, there's always something to do, and there's always someone that has your interest, and it's just a great time. Now I go all that way, and I spend all that money to go to the convention, and I go all that all the way up there, and we hang out. And what do? I sit there and play with my buddies, and of course, run into other people and get to talk with them and stuff like that. But it's like there's like 4 or 6 of us that we all get together and we hang out and we play and we do things together and then it's like our little group, and then we were doing it all over again just like we used to back in the day. Oh, and that's right, the RPG stuff is like on the it's like on the other side, and it is so big and so massive they separate it from the board game stuff. And we didn't even go over there. We walked through that way because the guy I was riding with his car parked out that east entrance. I think it was east entrance. So you had to walk way down over there and then cut out. And sometimes we were over there, and it was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and they were still like going. They were still going there. I mean, so I didn't buy any tickets to any of the events or anything because my time is spent gaming with my crew and just hanging out and going to the vendor hall, and then that's it. I mean, that's pretty much it. But yeah, it's a great place to hang out. It's a great place to go, and always something going on, always something to do. And like I said, the vendor hall, you don't get deals at the vendor hall. You have to pray through the. I shouldn't say there are no deals. There's a few. I wouldn't call them deals, but you're not paying full price. But most things you're paying full price on. Most things you're paying full price. But if you want it, it's there. Probably any game that I can think of that is, oh, hey, let's play this. Oh, no one's got a copy of it. We could go to the vendor hall and find somebody that probably had a copy of it. There was a lot of different, there was a GMT vendor that had all these games and more there, tons and tons of variety. A lot of the other new games. Chip Theory had a booth there. They had all their games. They had Gloomhaven, Frosthaven was there. So I mean, if you were interested, the game that we actually played with Herman was called. What was the game that you played with Herman? Platypus. What was it? Thunder something. Thunder. It wasn't Thunder Road. It was like. It's like a car racing game where it's like Mad Max. Like you're just trying to shoot everyone. Oh yeah, it was Thunder Road Vendetta. There we go. Thunder Road Vendetta. That was kind of like the hit game. There was probably 10 different groups of people playing that in the different areas. And if you're like, oh, that game looks cool, I got to go get it. They had that game and a bunch of the expansions. You just go right in there and buy it. Like I said, the only game that I ended up buying was For Glory. They had that there and the expansion and everything. So yeah, it was super good to, if you wanted to play something, you could probably find it there. There wasn't obviously like too many. It's how do I want to put it? it's not a war game convention, so they don't focus on war games. Like, when Ruff was going around and showing you the games that people were playing and stuff, they were mostly war gamers, but that is a war game convention. This is not a war game convention. This is a gamers convention. So they had, like I said, they had everything: miniatures, war games, board games, Euro games, puzzles. They had painting. They had a section where you could go and get a miniature and paint it, and they had competitions going on. I think every day you can go and get yourself a free mini and paint it and put it into a competition and stuff. So if you enjoy that stuff, they had all the stuff there for you. They had I must know, I walked by that one area once. They probably had 100 people in there painting miniatures. I mean, it was a thing. 100 people just painting miniatures, which is more than Ruff had in his whole con. So there's a lot of good things to say about it. Of course, with that many people, you run into problems with parking, which fortunately for us, my buddy worked downtown, so he's got a pass to his office building, which is not very close. So we had to walk like 10 minutes, but that was okay. That was all right, except for the night it was pouring down rain. But you have to worry about parking. Then, of course, all the food places are jam packed with people and trying to get reservations and trying to get around people. And then, of course, trying to leave Saturday night took us like 25 minutes to get out of the parking garage because people are, it's downtown. All people are hanging out downtown and walking around. You just can't drive. So, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, a lot of people bring a lot of good things, but they also bring a lot of bad things. They bring a lot of, just jam packed. But it was good to see everyone. It was good to hang out with people and get to see everyone and get to play games and tease one another. The fun part of gaming where you're not doing it solo. You're doing it with people. You get to converse with them. We had several different games where we played cooperatively. There were several games where we played like teams against one another and stuff. So it's that I don't get to do that here, when I'm running the solo stuff on the channel. So it's always good to get to go to a con and hang out with actual people, and then watching them, and I'm talking about you guys. You know who I'm talking about. Watching them change the rules or ignore rules because it doesn't work to their advantage. Craig, I'm talking about you, Craig. I'm talking about you. So I had to be Mr. Watchy. That's what I had to be. No, God damn it. That's not what it says. Don't be changing the rules on me. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the festival, right. There was a festival going on, which for some reason they decided to do at the same time as Origins, which makes it even worse. The food trucks were everywhere, which was nice when we weren't going to get food, but it took some of the people away from where we were going to get food. But yeah, they had a big festival going on down there. Changing the rules. I had to be the dictator. No, you can't be changing the rules on me. I know better than that. I think because I don't know the game, I can't read the rules. I can't read the rule book. Bastards, I tell you. All right, well, there you go. That's just a wrap of what we had going on for the week. I will show you some photographs come Saturday on the War Room. I'll pick out some good ones to show you guys. Just kind of some overviews, of course. Different areas, different games that were going on. Just in general, the layout and the different locations and what was going on and some of the cool things. I mean, you will see just walking around, like literally just walking around this huge room, you will find all kinds of interesting, cool things. Huge banners for games that I had never heard of. It's like, oh, what's this? This looks cool. Ooh. And games I was like, damn, if I would fit in my suitcase, I would take it home. But it's not going to fit in my suitcase and it's going to weigh 50 pounds. I think I'd have to throw out all my clothes to get it home. I thought about it. Anyways, it was a good time. It was, I'll show you guys some photos on Saturday at the War Room at 4 o'clock, as usual. And we'll talk about what we did then, and hopefully show you some pictures of me and Herman hanging out, and me and Art Wolf hanging out, and what we got to play. And we had a list of like 20. I think we played 22 games in 5 days, 4 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 4 days. I think we played 22 games in 4 days. So it was a busy time. Just game, play, take it back, get a new one, bring it over. We played like 7 a day. So we were real pretty. And that's not, I think it's not 22 different games, because there were several games that we played. We just played several sessions of it, so I count those individually. Like when we first got there, me and Craig sat down and played Cartographers. And we played that while we were waiting on the other guys to show up. And so we played a couple sessions of that. So that only takes like 45 minutes. That was kind of a cool little game. I had the list somewhere, but I'll have to look for it for Saturday. Anyways, it's getting late tonight. Unfortunately, I had to go back to work tomorrow, but it was good to see everyone and meet everyone and talk with them face to face and introduce. I actually had some people come up to me and talk to me, recognized, I guess not recognize me, but just recognize, knew who I was, and recognize my channel and stuff, which is kind of cool. So I'm not Mr. Fancy with signs and and my own little area to game and everything. One of these years, maybe, but probably not. Anyways, thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. And if you were able to come by and say hi at Origins, or got a chance to talk and just meet up and just converse for a little bit, then thanks for coming by. And we will see everyone Saturday on the War Room. And we'll get a chance to kind of talk a little bit more about it. If you have any questions about it, let me know then. Until then, my friends, take care, and we'll see you all down the line. Bye for now.